Hi friends, it's Elise here, and my April Planner Society kit just arrived, so I figured it was time to set up my personal planner for May. Right now I'm just going through some of the things that came in the kit. When I first saw the kit, I was a little bit I wasn't sad, but I wasn't really excited about it because it has kind of like this Western, I don't know, like horses and like the embroidery patterns. It looks kind of Western and all, so I was like, man, this really isn't me. But I have to say, like, the end product I just love, and I found that you can really like make a kit sing any song that you wanted to sing by bringing in other elements. So I actually think this is like one of my favorite Planner Society setups that I've done. This month I'm going to be using a Webster's Pages planner. I really wanted to find like a little blush pink kind of planner. I thought that would be beautiful with this kit, but I just couldn't find one in a day or two. The Recollections one, they don't have a nice ballerina pink one. And Webster's Pages didn't either in personal. So I settled on this kind of coral color because it's kind of in the rose, like the floral patterns a little bit. And I really think it worked out well. I was really nervous. In fact, I bought a black Recollections planner as a backup, but this one just worked out really, really well. I loved how it came out. So right now I'm just gonna choose my 4 dividers, and I've settled on these 4 papers. The kit comes with 6 different patterns. So I put them in the order I want to use, and I want to make a shaker dashboard because the kit came with this like sequin glitter container, so I want to use that. Right now I'm just going ahead and laying out my tabs and deciding which will go with which. This month I tried not to kill myself on this. I decided to just go with what felt right and not be too persnickety about it. I'm going in and putting on my dividers. I like to line the top one up flush with the top. Then on the last divider, I will line that one up flush with the bottom. And then I'll just fill in the gaps in the middle. Yeah, I found that really the tabs don't matter so much. Like, you hardly see them at all. So it really just adds to a kind of cohesive look. It doesn't matter exactly what tabs you pick. Alright, I'm putting on my last divider tab, and now it's time to go ahead and put on the labels. Every Planner Society kit comes with these kind of clear vinyl tab labels that are in a handwritten font. There have been a few fonts, I think, but this one we've had a lot. Like, I think this whole year it's been this font, and I kind of want something new. But hey, I'm happy. I love these kits, and the font on the tab labels doesn't really matter. I mean, at least we get tab labels, right? So right now I'm going in and planning for my shaker dashboard. I made this one different than I've ever made them before, slightly different. So this one I just decided to kind of build around the paper itself, and I just punched holes in the clear transparency paper and used that kind of as a guide. Before I punched holes in the actual page protector, I've fused around it and like another divider and used that, but this time I just used the page itself, and I think it worked out pretty well. What I do is I just print out a scrapbooking paper onto it's like a transparency film is what it is. I just found it in a free pile because nobody uses transparencies anymore, but it's just for laser printers. So I just print out a different pattern each month and use that as a dashboard, or in this case a shaker dashboard. The sequins were like really hard to get out. I'm glad that they were packed so full, but it was kind of crazy. Like, they were flinging all over my room, but I got it done in the end. So now I just closed it on up, and I'm going to trim off the top and then repunch the holes. I think I like this technique better, to kind of build around the actual paper that you're putting inside, and using that as a guide. I actually decided later that I didn't like the shaker dashboard. Like, the colors of the sequins just didn't quite work for me. So I ended up taking it out, but I still figured I'd show you the process. I love the journaling cards that came in the kit this month, and I love the die cuts. Like, I just loved it. The die cuts I felt like were a really great size to work with. I don't use them really in like weekly spreads. I use them for dividers, so I like them to be a little bit bigger, and I just loved the size of them. And I loved the variety of the journaling cards. They were all very different. I felt like you really could use them on, like, have one on each divider if you wanted and still make them look very different. But I decided that I would just pull a different journaling card to use here, and I'm using this little pad of scrapbooking paper. It's like a 6x6 pad. I'll link it down below. I got it so long ago though, I doubt you could still find it, but I just loved how the colors went with the palette in this month's kit. I just felt like it worked so well together, and it kind of tied in my coral planner, and I just really thought it worked out well. It's busy to have these two bold prints on top of each other, I feel like, but I still feel like it works out well. And then I laid down the die cuts, and I love that moth, but then when I was, like, you know, in my frenzy of filming, I put it off to the side and I totally forgot about it, and I ended up putting down a different die cut instead, and I'm sad I didn't use the moth, but I think it still worked out. So I just cut the scrapbooking paper into a banner shape, like a double banner, and then layered that on top. I really like decorating my personal planner, but it's hard because they're so small. Like, I use a lot of journaling cards in my decoration, and because the dividers are so teeny, it's really hard. Like, you have to kind of think outside the box a little bit. When you're decorating A5, you have a lot more room to work with, but it still works. See, yeah, I put down the bee. I wish that I had remembered about the moth, but I totally forgot. So yeah, I decided that the shaker dashboard was a little bit too busy in this case. I love this journaling card too, with the unicorn with the flower mane. It's just so pretty. And I felt like I really wanted to play up this pink and then the black, so I layered under it this scrapbooking paper that's like a black and white stripe. And then I also incorporated this pink and black plaid, and I really liked how those different prints worked with each other. And I was just trying to find a way to incorporate all three elements, both pieces of paper and in the journaling card, but because the divider is so small, I had to get a little bit creative to make it all fit. So what I ended up doing was cutting down the journaling card, and of course I'm not like using any kind of ruler or paper cutter or anything. I'm just kind of willy-nilly cutting on this thing, which I'm sure makes a lot of people cringe. But as I've said in other videos, my paper cutter is like huge and it has a huge arm, and it just is not conducive to filming. So I just kind of, you know, make it work here. So yeah, I'm trimming that down, and then I'm just eyeballing and trimming down the other ones to size. And then I just kind of staggered them and layered them on the journaling card. And I feel like that looks really pretty. I didn't use as much washi in this setup as I usually do. I think it's because I had these papers that I felt like worked so well with the kit. I didn't have to pull in as much washi, but I did like the washi a lot that came in this month's kit. We actually got two washis. We got like a thin one with a horse print pattern on it, and then another floral with a black background that matches one of the papers. I decided that I wanted to kind of balance out the bottom and bring in some other textures and colors, so I put down what has become my favorite washi, this gray polka dot one, and then I layered on top of it this black washi from the kit. And then I also used this, I think it's it's a Michaels washi that is a gold scribbled heart on top of a light pink background. But the gold color really works with the yellow mustard color in the kit, so it kind of makes it look like it's that mustard color and not gold. And I really liked it a lot with this kit, so I used it a bunch. Now we're on to this kind of tile mosaic print. I was playing with maybe like one of those pieces just flew across the room when I cut it, so now I developed a better way for trimming them here. But I was toying with maybe building like this kind of, you know, I don't know what it would be, geometric pattern with the papers, but because they were just cut all wonky and it just didn't work, I felt like it covered up too much of the beautiful paper. So I decided to just take this journaling card and then round it out with my corner rounder. and use the camera die cut. I liked the camera die cuts that came in the kit, and I tried to kind of play that up as much as possible. So now I'm just going to try and bring in some other elements to make this kind of black floral motif pop a little bit off of the page, and I figured that the small print on this gingham would separate it from the background a little bit and let the die cuts pop. So I just layered that on top, and then I also decided to incorporate these cute tassel die cuts as well. And I think it was at about this time that I ran out of my tape runner. Yep, so I'm getting out my trusty rubber cement, which is actually my favorite adhesive to use in just about any project, because it does, you know, like you can rub off anything that's not showing, like, you know, any excess that's like peeping out around the edge, you can just rub it off. And I really do think it's the best. It's not very pretty though to use on camera. Like, it's not very satisfying to watch somebody glob this like goop all over the place. So I don't actually use it in my videos. I guess I could use it and maybe just do it off camera so people don't have to see me like applying sludge to everything. But I do feel like it's a really good adhesive for working with paper. Alright, now it's on to the final divider, which is like this embroidery kind of pattern. It reminds me of like a cowboy shirt. And I really like this hummingbird journaling card. And then I'm just using a piece of wood grain scrapbook paper that came in a like $2 pack from Joann's, from their, I think it's like Mr. and Mrs. Sparkle or something. So I'm just using that, and then I'm using that same Recollections pink and gold heart washi to just kind of separate a little bit. And I really like the way that turned out. I wanted to add something else here, so I cut a little heart out of scrapbooking paper, and I was going to try and apply that somewhere, but because the heart was just cut like all, you know, hand cut and wonky, I just decided not to include it, although I really wanted to, and I did think it actually looked kind of good right there. But I just decided that I would just kind of keep it simple, because I know that once you just start adding things, sometimes you wish that you had just stopped while you were ahead. So yeah, I did want to add that heart, but it just wasn't cut very well, and I don't have a little heart punch or anything. Okay, so now we have all the dividers in there. I like to look over one more time just to make sure that there isn't anything else that I need to add. So then for now, I'm not going to use this monthly spread. I'll probably not use all of these inserts, but I make my own inserts and I just haven't done it yet, so I just put those in there for now. That little sticker book is another thing that came with the kit this month, and I really love it, and so is that pen. That pen is like a gel pen and it writes so well. I really love it already. So I'm definitely going to be using that this month. Now it's time to decorate my front pocket. So I just cut down a piece of scrapbooking paper, and then I just kind of bent it at the top so that I would know how big it needs to be. And then I'm just going to try and keep this camera theme going by using one of the camera die cuts in there. I thought about maybe using, I really did like the unicorn as well, so I thought about maybe using that, but I decided on the camera. So I just layered on top of it another one of my favorite papers from that scrapbook pad, and then I put the washi on top and cut it down, and then adhered the camera there in the middle. I also like the record player, that's super cute as well. But I decided on the camera, and I think that I might incorporate some other photo and camera related things in here as well, in different spreads. And if I decide to decorate another divider, I might, because I had so much fun decorating these that I might actually make another divider as like a note section and decorate that as well. So if I do that, I'll put it on my Instagram. Now I'm just going in and filling up the planner pockets. I made that little tassel paper clip myself. I just got a little, 30-cent embroidery thread thing and just hacked it together. Usually if I look at something, I can figure out how, it works, like how to make it work. So I just made that really quick before I started filming. And then I'm just using some of the paper clips, other little paper clips that I've made, other ones from Michael's. I decided though that I should try and use these paper clips from the kit wherever possible, just because it is the perfect place to use them. So I put down that little unicorn die cut along with the flower paperclip from the kit, and there I'm just making, I'm just using a little button paperclip that I made, and I decided that I still needed like something more on the top. So I found this like photo booth strip ephemera that I had. I love photo booths. Like whenever I see a photo booth, I absolutely have to go get some pictures taken in it. And I really like how that came together, and I think it plays well into the photo theme. So I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you subscribe, and I hope that I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.